freshest, you bitch.
I haven't published a video in about 9 months, and my life has completely changed dramatically, completely 180 of what it used to be 9 months ago, even just a year ago. So let me catch y'all up with what's been going on. So in the last 9 months, I have dropped 2 businesses. My vending machine business is a wrap. I'm done with it. Pacific Vending is over. I no longer do that shit. I got sued in January. I'm no longer in real estate. Pacific Home Buyers is a wrap. I have gained weight back. I was up at 340 in June of 2024. And then by January of 25, I got down to 290 and my goal was 260 and I ended up gaining about 30 pounds back. So I'm around 315 to 320 right now. Yeah, my life in a nutshell, man. So let me tell y'all what's been going on, man. If you don't know who I am, Kevin Robinson Jr. I am 41 years old. I will be 42 in September. And I've been fumbling with this YouTube channel. I've been trying to figure out what niche should I go through. Some of you actually migrated from my podcast that I had back in 2013 to 2021 called Kevin Hates Hip Hop, where basically it was lifestyle. And I was giving a lot of game, a lot of business game. I was talking about shit I was going through, things that were going, people were going through around me, 1 degree away from me. And, just fumbling through life. When I started this YouTube channel 5 years ago, it's grown extremely slow. I didn't know what the fuck I wanted to do. I didn't know if I wanted to do Kevin Hates Hip Hop TV. I started this shit during COVID. And then I started doing a little bit of lifestyle videos and I started doing movie reviews. But you know what? I'm gonna talk about me. I'm gonna talk about me, my life, man. That's what made me successful. What put me in the iTunes USA Top Philosophy podcast at the time was I was raw. I was honest. I was raw where I was in life, where things were, where I was trying to go. I was raw. I was going through a bit of a depression at that time of that podcast. And honestly, in the last 9 months, I've been kind of going through a depression in the same facet, in a different way. So this podcast or this YouTube channel is gonna be a gumbo pot of a lot of shit. So I no longer do vending. Number one, I'm out of the vending machine business. I owned a vending machine business called Pacific Vending. And the primary thing that we did in the beginning was we had vending machines and shit. Like, I'm in my apartments right now, so there's vending machines over there. They're not mine, but I owned a vending machine company called Pacific Vending here in Los Angeles from December 1st of 2021, basically to January this year. But I knew I needed to shut that business down last January. And I sold all my vending machine locations. And what I started to do was I started to sell my locations we would cold call businesses. We would get them under contract and then we would sell these contracts to other vendors. I knew that most vending machine vendors were guys that had 9 to 5. So they didn't have the same amount of time to cold call. So I hired virtual assistants to cold call for me. And they would call these businesses, various businesses, man. A lot of senior living facilities. What else? Apartments. We had a corporate contract with Dave & Buster's. And I did this shit for 4 years. And in the beginning, it was just like a side hustle because I had Pacific Home Buyers where we were wholesaling houses. So I was like, man, look, if I could just make $3K a month off of this side hustle, that's cool. You know what I mean? That's a cool little side hustle. That I pay my rent every month and it's all good. So the first year I was doing about $3K a month for about $3K a month for the first year. The next year I started getting the contracts with Dave & Buster's. So now I'm selling contracts for $3,000 and now I'm making $6,000 to $9,000 a month. And then next thing you know, within the first 18 months, I'm making over 6 figures just by selling locations. No machine, just the contract. And it was a way of arbitrage, the same thing we did with Pacific Home Buyers. And what happened was, around January of last year, my business started to show me threads that it was gonna start to unravel. It's kind of like when you got that t-shirt and it's starting to like thread a little bit, and you pull the thread rather than cut it, and it just pulls a long thread and it destroys the t-shirt. That's what was starting to happen with my business. It was starting to do that. I was starting to get bad clientele. I was starting to get property management companies that were trying to be unrealistic with their commission rates. And I had seen this before because I had worked in PR. I had a publicity firm for a couple of years, and I had seen it where the business was starting to hemorrhage. And I could see that iceberg, like the Titanic, I could see it before we hit it. But I didn't prepare myself for the business to start to fail. And with any business you launch, you need to have an exit strategy, because I'm gonna tell you something. You need to have a strategy in a best case scenario that you can build a business and sell it. But the problem was, my business, my vending machine business was starting to go bad, because I was starting to sell to people who watched a TikTok or a YouTube video and they thought they understood the business, and they didn't realize that vending machine businesses is not as turnkey as you think it is. This whole idea of residual income or, non-active income where you could just set it and forget it is bullshit. Your machines are gonna break down sometimes. You're gonna have to deal with your credit card readers not working. You're gonna have to deal with all different types of shit, refunds and everything. The only way you'll see real money in the vending machine business is it's micro real estate. You're gonna need so many locations before you even see some real fucking money. You know what I'm saying? So I started getting bad clientele. What else? And then in August of last year, I sold an apartment to this dude and in my contract was simple. It said, look, it's at the property management's discretion to where your vending machine can go. So in an apartment, if they decide, hey, we want it to be in the laundry room, we want it to be in the pool area, it's up to the property managed discretion because it's their property, right? This dude wanted to put his vending machine in a pool area. The property management company said, no, we want it in the laundry room, which is way more secure. And he tried to get at me on breach of contract. I said, fuck it. I gave him his $2K back. And in January, this motherfucker, me and my wife, I'm over here trading on futures, and I'm getting served a subpoena or served by the sheriff's office by this guy because he's trying to sue me for breach of contract for $8,600 after I had already gave him a refund of what I sold him. I sold him a contract for $2K. He was trying to sue me for vending machine and all this other shit. I had nothing to do with that. We went to court, I won. This was in January. Then this guy tried to sue. It didn't work for me. He tried to sue the property management company. And I'm gonna tell you, like, by September of last year, I was like, I don't want to do vending machines anymore. I'm done. I made 6 figures in a side hustle. And honestly, I had no intentions on it becoming more than a side hustle, but it became a real business. I mean, fuck, I was making really good money. In it. I would sell 3 locations a month and I could make anywhere from $7,500 to $9K a month on most months, which is good, just selling 3 fucking pieces of paper. The best month I had in that business, I made $14,750. And in October, I think I made $9,750. So I mean, it was cool, you know what I mean? But those months started to come few and far between. So I shut that business down. And the next thing, I started futures trading. I'm trading in the futures market now. Now, I come from the options world of the stock market, but futures is completely different. I mean, it's the same premise, the same strategies, but it's a different market. I'm not trading SPY or SPX or QQQ. I'm trading the NASDAQ, NQ, you know what I mean? MNQ, gold, all that shit. So I started doing that, trading futures in August, and I blew a lot of fucking money, man. I blew so much money. I was gambling, dude. I was with Top Step, which is a prop firm, and man, I was doing too much. But I invested probably about $9,000 to $10,000 in prop firms before I got my first payout. And I didn't get my first payout until January. I got my first payout in January. And it's crazy because the court date I had, I did it via Zoom. I'm sitting at the park down the street from my house. I live in downtown LA. And I'm sitting in the park and I'm on a Zoom waiting for me to be called. And I'm trading futures and I'm on my 5th day of a funded account. And I got a payout, my first payout, after investing over $10,000 of money and blowing so many fucking accounts, man. I blew so many accounts and I continue to blow accounts, you know. It took me, 5 months to get my first payout? And even now, I mean, fuck, man, it's been 9 months since I've been trading and I have only gotten a handful of payouts. Not a lot. It's not been consistent. I haven't been that profitable. I can trade my ass off. I can make $1,500, $2,000 in a day, and then I've blown the eval the very next day, being fucking greedy. And that's the one thing that futures trading has taught me. I'm greedy as fuck. I'm extremely fucking greedy. I'm so fucking greedy. Literally, all I need to do is make about $250, $300 a day in trading futures and build multiple accounts, just like I did in real estate, copy trade them, and I can acquire the same amount of money that I did in real estate, you know. But that's gonna be for a completely different, another episode. So I'm gonna have a playlist on here about me doing futures trading. And I'm not gonna sit here and just be like, oh nigga, I made 3,000, woo woo. I'm gonna show you the accounts I've blown. I have blown so many fucking accounts. You dig what I'm saying? But I look at it like paying tuition. I mean, that's what it is. It's really like paying tuition. Every evaluation fee that I put in is me paying tuition. That's how I look at it, end of the day. And it's still something, I mean, it's been 9 fucking months, but at the end of the day, I mean, I think probably, hopefully, it'll be a year, I think August 22nd, when I got my first evaluation. Hopefully by then, or my birthday at latest, it'll be more consistent. But I'm gonna show that whole journey. Like, you know, if you know anything about futures trading, there's a lot of motherfuckers on Instagram and YouTube, and they'll be like, yeah, I'll make 10K a week and this, and this, and they never show you their losses. I'm gonna show you the L's too. You know what I'm saying? I've had a shit ton of L's, big L's. You know what I'm saying? Losing 2K and $4,500 and $8,400 in a day and all that type of shit. Like, for real. So I'm gonna show you all that. And then the third element that I wanted to talk about was, I'm gonna start doing videos about my health. I have battled with my health my entire fucking life. I have always been a big dude. And every part of my life is either I have been a fat dude or I've been skinny fat. And then what I mean by skinny fat is like I could lose about 15 pounds. I have never been like jacked. I have never been like in incredible shape. I think the lowest body fat percentage I ever had was about 15, and that's when I was in college. And at 15% body fat, I was skinny, you know what I mean? But I wasn't like lean, there was no striations and shit. My muscles was nothing like that, no cuts. But what happened was, in this decade, I can say this since COVID, and it's been 6 years now, so I can't really complain. So in June of 2024, I'm doing real estate, I'm doing vending, and you see right there, my wife took a picture of me. This is June 8th of, I think it was June 8th, June 7th or June 8th of 2024. We were in Phoenix. My brother, Jalen, graduated from culinary school. And when I seen this picture, I was like, what the fuck, bro? I had put on so much fucking weight, bro. And I've heard motherfuckers say this before where they're like, yo, you don't know really how big you are until you look at pictures and look on the scale. Man, look, you can lie to yourself all you want to, but the scale ain't gonna lie to you. Pictures ain't gonna lie to you. And I'm not talking about no selfies. I'm talking about have somebody else take a picture of you. You know what I'm saying? And I weighed in at on June 9th of 2024, I was 340 fucking pounds, 30% body fat. Anything over a 25% body fat is obese. And I'm like, fuck. So I went carnivore. So basically, all I eat is meat. Meat, butter, eggs, milk, cheese. That's it. And by January of 2025, last year, about 7 months later, and this is me working out and everything, I ended up losing about 50 pounds. So I had went from 340 to about 291. And my goal was about 270, 260. Because me lifting weights and getting lean, I can be 260, 265 and be a 15% body fat. And a 15% body fat for me at this point is lean. So 260 lean, 270 lean, for a lot of people, it's not possible, but you know, my muscle mass at the time, I was like at a 225 pound muscle mass. So for me to cut down to about 260, I would have been lean as fuck. So last year hit, I went back to old habits. I got stressed out. I started drinking again. I started eating my feelings again. You know, all type of shit. Business got stressful, life got stressful, and I relapsed on eating like shit. And next thing you know, I'm hovering at 300. And then by the last video I did, I think I was about 315. And that's where I've been at around this whole time. The last 9 months, I've been going 320, 310, 320, 310. Just yo-yoing. And I need to get back to, my goal is, honestly, I want to chronicle this shit because I want to show y'all, like, yeah, I can make a lot of money and all that other shit, but I gotta get healthy. I'm 41, I'm gonna be 42 in 3 months. Luckily, I don't have high blood pressure. I don't have diabetes, I don't have none of that shit. The thing is, I weigh as much as I weigh and I work out every day, but I eat like shit when I eat like shit. So every single week, I'm gonna show y'all weigh-in progress. I'm gonna show y'all the screenshot of where I'm at. You feel what I'm saying? And I weigh in every Monday. So I think I'm gonna put these videos out, I don't know, Monday, Wednesday, maybe Wednesday. But yeah, man, that has been my life in a nutshell. Last 9 months have been crazy. I am resetting, and I kind of look at like my health, the wellness part, is like me getting disciplined with my diet is the same way with me getting disciplined with futures trading. Like, they're both gonna be difficult. But once I become disciplined and it becomes a habit and it becomes something that I just do habitually, then the profitability with my futures trading will become abundant, and it'll be the same thing with the weight loss and getting in better shape like that. I'm not gonna say I need to, by the end of the year, I need to be 40 pounds lighter, no shit like that. No. I'm just gonna work out, we're gonna lose weight. The goal is ultimately is 270. And then when I get to 270, I want to see a 15% body fat. So if I get down to 270 and I'm like a 17, 18% body fat, I'm gonna cut down a little bit more. 270 and then work my way down to about maybe 260, 255, maybe 250. It's been a long time I was 250. I ain't been 250 in like 10 years. It's been a long time. So, but yeah, we're gonna do weigh-ins and shit. But I just wanted to catch y'all up, man, what's going on with me, man. Like, shit. I don't want to sit here and show y'all all my highlights and, oh man, I'm balling and you know what I'm saying, everything is great. Man, look, I shut down 2 businesses, man, in the last 9 months. I got sued. I gained some weight back. Man, all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, I'm not tripping. We're gonna thug this shit out. We're gonna thug it out. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna thug it out. I ain't doing no Ozempic. I ain't doing none of that weird ass shit. I'm going to the gym and I'm gonna eat clean. Fuck Ozempic, nigga. You need lean muscle mass as you age, man. All you motherfuckers taking Ozempic and Wegovy and all that other shit, if it's working for you, best of luck. But I'm gonna tell you, like, you need to lift weights and you need to eat clean. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, that shit's probably fucking placebo anyway, but a lot of y'all are taking that shit, losing weight, but you're not losing fat. You're losing muscle. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it is what it is, man. But if you fuck with anything I said, leave a comment below. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll tap in with y'all next week.
The world's